I'm gonna do this just because he used like both of his spells, and we're gonna arrows onto the berry because now look how much damage we're gonna get. That's what I'm talking about, man. People overextend against spam all the time. Oh my gosh. Ew, what's up gamers, it's Turkey here, and today we're going to be using the best spam deck in all of Clash Royale. As usual, I was scouring Royal API, which is my favorite deck building resource, shoutouts to Royal API, and I found this deck. The highest rated spam player in all of Clash Royale uses this deck, so it's pretty darn good. It features the Evo Wall Breakers and Firecracker, but even if you don't have evolutions, this deck is still amazing. Also Royal Recruits, and two of the best spells in the game, Void and Arrows. The reason that I love this deck is it is so easy to build up a push and overwhelm your opponents, and like 99% of the time they just won't know how to defend. Like I said, even if you don't have evolutions, this deck is so strong, so I'm really excited to show you how to use it. So that's enough yapping for me. Let's hop into some games and I'll show you how to get some easy dubs. All right, into our first match of the video against this player, and we see he's running Cannoneer. If you see that your opponent's running Cannoneer, like it's a GG's, honestly. I mean, this deck is good against all towers, but especially against Cannoneer, like it's their worst nightmare, man. Cannoneer players, they just lose sleep, like they shiver when they think about playing this deck. Rightfully so. I mean, it is a spam deck. Spam decks are very difficult. Looks like he's running triple spell, at least just like kind of from the looks of it. Okay, let's go like this. Firecracker to splash onto that side. Looks like he's running the notorious 2.6, so good luck defending that left side. Nope, it's going to be a connection. 2.6 is really popular still. I don't want to say I'm surprised, but I don't know. I would have expected kind of the fall off of 2.6. We're going to do this. We're getting all of this awesome Firecracker chip onto the tower. So we know he has a Hog Rider. Defending Hog can be kind of tricky without a building, but if you play it smart, you'll be fine. Let's do this. He goes for the King Tower activation, but it doesn't work against the Cannoneer. Okay, let's get ready here. I don't think he can afford a Hog, so we're just going to go Goblins here. Cannoneer actually, or Dagger Duchess does fairly well against the Hog Rider. We're going to be ready for it. I feel like he might go Hog behind this. We're going to get ready with our recruits. It's pretty obvious. Well, I guess he's not running true 2.6 because he has Knight and he has Ice Golem, so it's kind of tricky. Don't know for certain. Okay, let's do this. Just to make this even harder. I think he has Knight instead of Cannon. I think he's running 2.6 with Knight instead of Cannon is what it looks like. He hasn't even been able to go for a Hog Rider, and my boy just gave up. That's what I'm talking about with this deck, dude. You don't have to do anything. People don't know how to defend spam. I've been saying it for years. If you're a mid-ladder player, even like a lower, upper ladder player, just play spam decks. People don't know what to do. Easy GG's. So we're going to hold that W, and we're going to catch you in the next match. Excuse me. Into our next match here. Oh, it's against another Cannoneer player. Rest in peace. Honestly, that last guy didn't play it that well. I don't really know what his deck was. We genuinely didn't even get to see his win condition. He's just going to eat these Goblins. That's actually crazy to me because those do a great amount of damage. Firecracker like this. Firecracker at the bridge is a really great play. You can even go as far as to protect it if you want to be like super annoying. So like I'm going to do that here. And I'm going to Void here so that way it doesn't activate King Tower, or at least that's the idea. Oh my god, he gave me more Firecracker value. What are you doing, my guy? Oh my gosh, the Firecracker is getting so much value. I don't understand. I don't understand. Okay, so E-Giant notoriously is a horrible matchup. So let's see what we can do here. You know, I celebrated early against the Cannoneer, but it's like all of our troops kind of just die to E-Giant. Like even our, what's it called? Even our Mighty Miner gets reset by it. So I genuinely, I'm not just saying that. I'm not going to say it's the worst matchup, but it's a really bad matchup. So hopefully this guy's just like a complete bot, though. That's like the one thing we have going for us is maybe he's not a good player. We'll see. We're going to do this just to defend our Firecracker. Well played. Gets the King Tower activation. So I'm curious to see. I think Void is honestly your best option against the Electro Giant, plus using your Spirit Goblins at range. So we're going to see what we can do here. You know, I'm not going to give up too early because like I said, he is also running Cannoneer, and that is like really good for us. Let's go Mighty Miner in front. He's probably just going to go E-Giant in front and watch me struggle to defend. So at the very least, we're going to try and get like a positive elixir trade in the opposite lane. Okay, he does that. I need to like spam pressure the opposite lane, to be honest. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to Firecracker, and we're going to end up trading paint here because I think I can't really defend, and he can't like super defend either. Okay, let's do this. Goblins here. Okay, so we take that tower, and I think we're going to keep our tower. That's kind of the best advice I could give when you're going against E-Giant is, like, at the very least, like, spam them or something. Okay, let's do this just to get my Firecracker more value. I know those wall breakers won't connect. Okay, good. It forced out a cannon. That's fine. I'm going to Firecracker in the back. Like I said, if we don't take their tower at the very least, or if he's going to take our tower at the very least, we're going to try and apply pressure. I'm going to go Mighty Miner and threaten to pop the ability, you know, just to kind of like stress him out per se. Okay. Let's pop the ability here and then go for wall breakers. Like I said, if we can't defend, we want to make sure they can't defend either. He does get the cannon down, but we take the tower. So that was the idea. Firecracker is such an important piece of defense, but at this point, I'm just gonna spam, right? Because I don't want him to feel comfortable going in and taking my other tower. So really, really tough matchup. Like, you don't have a building for E-Giant. All you have is swarms. But if you play it right, you can absolutely still win. So that's a GG's and what I would consider a not great matchup. So we'll hold that W and catch you in the next match. Into our next match here against COC, Clash of Clans. And honestly, spam decks are kind of like, you can kind of just make your own spam decks. Like, if you are someone who doesn't have all of these cards unlocked, you can swap out some of the spam cards. You know, there are other cards that you can put in here that would still make this deck very, very strong. Let's go gang like this just to respond. Whenever I see Mega Minion, my first thought is Golem. That isn't always the case. That's, like I said, that's just what I think. Mega Minion Rage makes me think that it's like Elixir Golem or something. Let's Void in the back here. Void does such a good job on the pump. He could go for like a Skeleton block or something. He opts to just let it go, which means we just got a +2 trade, I think. So that's really awesome for us. Sparky comes down. That's so funny. Recruits are actually an amazing answer to Sparky when you play them defensively. So I'm already like liking the matchup, to be honest. Yeah, he basically just sacrificed that Sparky. Okay, we're going to go Firecracker like this. Firecracker plus Dagger Duchess should do a decent job against the Ewiz. He might get one shot. I'm going to do this just to eat the Ewiz shot. Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. It didn't even shoot. That's crazy. He goes for the Zap here. He might go for like a King Tower activation or something. Oh, I tried to protect my Firecracker. That was just greedy. It is what it is. A little bit of greed. Now that I know he has Sparky, I'm absolutely going to save my recruits for the Sparky. Plus, since I'm not running Evo recruits, it doesn't really make sense to just cycle them. Let's go Mighty Miner here and just destroy this Goblin Giant's hopes and dreams, as well as my opponent's hopes and dreams of breaking through. And that's dead. But just got destroyed. He might go Sparky here. We can always switch lanes if he does. Okay, yeah, let's just switch lanes anyway. The Mega Minion will pass. We're going to go Wall Breakers here. Even if he Sparkies, it won't get down in time. Yeah, Ewiz will do a decent job defending. You see, oh my gosh, he has to spend Ewiz Rage, and it still just got eviscerated. Rest in peace to my boy. I expect Mega Minion to come down here. It's like the cheapest response. Oh, I forgot he has Zap. Okay, Goblin Gang's going to come down. Remember, we're saving our recruits for his Evo Goblin Giant Sparky push, but you can see here, he doesn't even really like feel comfortable going for it. Like, we're applying so much pressure that he doesn't feel like he can go for that. Let's do this right away. If he goes Sparky, we'll switch lanes. It's kind of like a bait. Well, I'm fine going for that. He actually goes for a defensive E-Giant. Okay, now we're going to switch lanes only because he dropped the Ewiz. And you can see that his Goblin Giant just dies. I know I said I wasn't going to play recruits, but because we've dealt so much damage, I feel comfortable playing them. Beautiful. Look at how much damage we've done to both sides. I'm going to Void on the Sparky. I think it's a fine play just to get it off the map. Let's do this. He goes for a Void block. That was actually really intelligent. I have to give my opponent credit, but we can go Firecracker. Should finish it off and get chip onto the tower. So W Firecracker. He needs to defend on that side. Maybe he goes for a Rage or something like that. It's just an annoying matchup at the very least. Nice. That time we succeeded at protecting our Firecracker. Let's go Wall Breakers on this side, Void on this side. I don't know how he's going to defend this. So like I said, spam is just too hard for your opponents to defend. We're just going to cycle back here to another Void and clutch out this victory. Alright. Whatever he plays on the Mighty Miner. Okay, well, we'll take that. Wall Breakers on this side. Firecracker plus Void. Easy win there. So that is the power of spam deck. Like, the overwhelmed, feeling that your opponent has. It's just too much. So another easy win. We'll see you in the next match. Up here against Alejandro. And we're finally just running against normal Princess Tower. Cannonier's the best tower to run against, but, you do well against all tower troops, honestly. Don't see a ton of Heal Spirit. Oh, that makes sense. Let's do this. In case he goes Fisherman, I'm going to go Goblins. Because a lot of times, Royal Giant decks run Fisherman. So that's the only reason I did that. Nice. Great arrows. Oh, my gosh. Okay, he does. Okay, that's not Fisherman. I'm going to do this because that Mighty Miner is going to tank for the Wall Breakers. If he goes for a spell, we can go Goblin Gang in the opposite lane. You can go... I don't know if I have to play Goblins. It's worth going for just in case. Look how much damage we're getting on the left. Okay, so if he's running Royal Giant without Fisherman, our Mighty Miner is just going to absolutely shred it. It looks like he might not be running that variant. It looks like he's running like a Royal Giant with Prince. And then we can go Mighty Miner on the Royal Giant and then play like a Swarm unit to protect it. So just off the bat, looks pretty decent. I'm just going to go Royal Recruits right away. And I know I said I was going to go Mighty Miner, but it's not in cycle. So I'm just going to do this. We're going to get like maybe 2 shots. I'm not 100% sure. Arrows onto the Firecracker and have a really nice counter push. So sometimes you got to know when it's like fine to not defend with your Mighty Miner, right? Because if I would have cycled back to my Mighty Miner, we would have probably taken the same amount of damage anyway. I don't know if that makes sense. But now I have my Mighty Miner in cycle for his next one, so it's all good. And you can look at how much damage we dealt to both towers. So immediately Mighty Miner. We haven't seen the Fisherman yet, so at best this gets 1 hit, I would think. Come on, come on. Nah, 2 hits. That's kind of unfortunate. Still a really good answer, though. I mean, the positive elixir trade that we get is absolutely worth it. Okay. Nice. As you can see, again, now we're going to get damage onto both sides. So when this comes down to a 2-tower game, it's like we're going to have a nice little advantage. This will take the tower if he doesn't play anything on it. Very nice. Well played to my opponent. Still doesn't have like a log or anything in cycle. He can go for an Evo RG. We're going to go Royal Recruits here. That's the best thing that we have in hand. Fireball, absolutely choked by my opponent. Absolutely hilarious, I'm not going to lie. And now is when the spam comes down. We have to get our arrows down, otherwise that Firecracker gets too much value. Very nice. And I would be pretty impressed if he defended this, because all he has is like a Prince or something. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, you aren't always able to defend. Like, this isn't a deck where, like, you know, you play perfect defense and they never take your tower. It's okay to sack a tower if you know that you're going to get more damage. So, absolutely, another 3 crown. That's crazy. GG's to that guy, but we're going to hold that W. Catch you in the next match. Up here against Nav, rocking that cool Archer Queen banner. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. And, you know, I always, when I talk about decks, I talk about skill or no skill. This is definitely a no-skill deck. I mean, obviously there's skill involved and, like, you know, the tactical element of where you're playing cards. But for the most part, I would say this is like a no-skill deck. Let's see what he does here. Does he have a Swarm? Does he eat it? There's no way he just eats it, right? What? What? Okay. My man back from outer space. Okay, well. Well. Was that confusing? Yeah. I'm pretty sure that this match is over. My man just disconnected or something. I don't really know. I mean, Hog Earthquake is a pretty bad matchup, but that's a pretty good start for us, to be honest. Okay, he'll be ready for the ability pop. We're going to do it anyway just to tank for the wall breakers. He needs to spend skeletons, and he's not going to. Oh, he didn't have to, actually. Yeah, defending Hog can be tricky. Yeah, I was going to say, not can be. It is tricky. Let's go Firecracker like this. It pretty much gets a hit every single time, so it kind of goes back to what I said. We're like, okay, Hog is going to get a hit, but can you get a counter hit in return? Same thing when we played E-Giant, right? It's like, okay, you can't perfectly defend. You need to be okay taking damage as long as you're getting damage in return. So in this game, I'm already telling you, I'm going to lose my left side tower. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that I'm going to lose it. But the question is, you know, can I get something in return? So I'm going to keep that in mind. Like, at some point, I'll probably sack my tower to try and get something in return. We're going to try it again right now. Okay, my man asleep at the wheel here a little bit. Nice. And I'm going to take arrows here. Going to be ready for the Hog. He pretty much gets Hog EQ every time on the tower, but he can't support it with the Firecracker, so interesting. Waiting. There it is. Okay, makes sense. Good pre-log, honestly. Like I said, I knew we were going to lose this tower at some point. Nice. Good Firecracker, though. That was dope. Okay, we're going to go Recruits here just because it's difficult to defend. Okay, I don't want to use Void. I want to say Void for, like, Tesla or something. Good arrows. Good bomb by him, honestly. Okay. Nice. We actually kept that Hog from getting a hit, which is actually kind of crazy. I'm not even going to lie. Okay. Like I said, don't think we can keep this tower, but if he's spending on defense, he can't go for an Earthquake. You can see he had to spend on defense there, so he couldn't go for an Earthquake. And he's going to lose this tower. So that's what I'm talking about, making sure you're getting trades. It also helps when your opponent, like, was inactive for the start of the game, but the fundamentals of the matchup are still important. Another game, another 3 crown. This deck is really good. I'll see you in the next match. Up here against Robbie, we haven't had a loss yet. I'm sure it'll happen. Like, you know, this deck is good, but it's not the best deck in the game, especially at like top ladder. People will know how to defend against spam, but for like 95% of players, it's like this deck will be just amazingly strong. Let's split goblins here. I think it defends both sides. Well, that was a mistake, but that's okay. Maybe not a mistake. Okay, he used arrows. He's been like kind of aggressive. I'm gonna do this just because he used like both of his spells, and we're gonna arrows onto the berry because now look how much damage we're gonna get. That's what I'm talking about, man. People overextend against spam all the time. Oh my gosh. Like, what did we do there that was that good? Like nothing. And we can just kite this back with wall breakers. It can be kind of hard with the fast troop to get the timing right. I did it early there, but that's okay. It still defends and it threatens the tower. Oh my gosh, he just eats it. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna go like this. He'll probably play like a zap or like an arrows or something. Okay, let's pull this all to the middle. Oops, that was a mistake. My bad. My bad, my bad, my bad. That was a wonky defense. I totally messed it up, but at this point, this game's over. Yeah, well, it do be like that sometimes. Let's do this. Oh, okay, he didn't give up? He didn't give up? I thought he gave up. Well! Okay, we're gonna do this. It's good arrows, honestly. Get the goblins down. Alright, well, I can comfortably say this match is over, so we're gonna hold that W, and I'll see you in the next match. And there's the proof of 3 crown. So, GG's. We'll see you in the next match. Alright, up here against Petito. By the way, we're in a Classic Challenge. If I ever have my deck and it's like under-leveled, I'll run it in a Classic Challenge. I'll pretty much only run my main deck on ladder because I'm not a maxed player and all my cards are maxed, unfortunately. So it's kind of difficult sometimes. Let's do this. I think we're going to have to spend more because of that pesky heal spirit. Yeah, I'm just going to let it go because it shouldn't charge. Well played to him, though, honestly. Yeah, that got a lot of damage. It is what it is. Okay, I think he's going to go for maybe a King Tower activation. Let's do this first. Okay, yeah, it goes for the zap. Could still go for the King Tower activation. I think he might just let it go and go for a push instead. That's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting. Okay, yes. Okay, okay. What are we going to do? Let's go Mighty Miner onto the Wizard. And then Goblin getting low. Because if we would have done that in the reverse order, we would have gotten cooked. We still might get cooked, but... Okay. Yep. Okay, so Wizard is... really good against this deck. You can void it. The reason I didn't void it there is because I thought that he was going to what's it called, block with the giant. So if you go for a void on the wizard, a lot of times they just like block it, I guess I would say. And then it's like, okay, well then you're in trouble on defense. I will probably go void on the wizard here though, even void arrows. Not sure how I want to do this. Do I want to go firecracker? We'll see. Okay, let's go Firecracker on this side, and then I can Void on the Sparky. Firecracker will get good chip. I'm going to Void on the Sparky. You might block with the Goblin Giant. Like I said, I'm mentally prepared for that to happen. I guess he doesn't have enough Elixir. That's what I would have done, low-key. Okay, nice. We got decent damage on both sides. Let's do this and try and force out the Wizard. We'll see. I would like to get it out of hand. Now he just goes for a Zap. Let's do this. Want to see that Wizard come down before he has enough Elixir to go for a Goblin Giant. Okay, Evo Wizard. Shield is still intact, though, and that is very, very problematic for us. Okay, let's do this, and then Evo Firecracker. Yep. Then Void onto everything. Come on, I need to get this DPS down. Okay, Evo Wizard dies. That's huge. Pretty decent defense. We did have to spend a hefty sum, though, so not always sure if it was worth it. Let's do this. He could Zap. I don't know if he has it in cycle. Nice. He had to spend Dark Prince and Zap, and it still did defend. Dude, people don't know how to defend Firecracker sometimes, I swear. It do be difficult. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to Void on the Sparky. It's also going to hit the tower, so the Sparky won't get completely taken care of, but I do think it's worth it, low-key. Beautiful. Okay, Goblins immediately. Can't afford a Wizard right now. I'm focused on DPSing this down. Firecracker again, just to splash onto everything. As you can see, over time, that Sparky has just been whittled down by all of our troops. Okay, no Goblin Giant in front. Once the Wizard locks, I'm going to go like this. I mistimed that. That's okay, though. Again, I'm just going to Void onto the Sparky in the tower. Not sure if that was the move in hindsight, but that's okay. He's going to go Goblin Giant in front. We're going to Evil Firecracker, and then we're going to go Recruits as well. I have to go for arrows here. I'm going to do this. Oh! Wow. Let's do this. I want him to have to defend the left side. Okay, it's going to be close. Dark Prince does a great job of defending that side. Shout outs to Dark Prince. No, Firecracker, where are you going? Yes, to defend. Let's go like this. No! Sparky! Oh, we almost had him. Good game with that guy. Honestly, he played it well. I could have absolutely played it better. I should have pressured the opposite lane sooner, I think. So we're going to hold that L. We're going to catch you in the next match. All right, in our last match of the video against Fine King. And we're going to head on a W. I'm already telling you right now. If I lose this game, it's edited out. Just kidding. Okay, we're up here against Logbait. This deck does really, really well against Logbait. Typically. Also, I just feel like I know how to play against Logbait as someone who mains the deck myself. I feel very confident playing against it. I'm going to have Goblins ready. When you do this, they love to go Princess if they have Princess in cycle. As someone who plays Logbait. Okay, he just goes for the cannon. It's a reasonable play. I could Void on it. I could not. I'll do it just because it's a 3-for-3 trade. Have arrows ready for Princess. Beautiful. And let's put Wall Breakers because he doesn't have a building in cycle. So we're going to get damage on one side or the other. Yeah, and we get it on the right side. Decent defense from my opponent, I'm not going to lie, given the circumstances. Okay, let's do Goblins. Honestly, Dagger Duchess does a great job defending the barrel. You know, she's pretty quick, so I'm grateful for that. Nice. Spam can be difficult for bait to deal with, so I'm grateful. Be ready for the Princess here with my Mighty Miner. We're just going to do it. Find a cycle like that. He goes Cannon, we can go Void, or we can even Void on the Princess, and it's like a decent play. You don't have to worry about it too much. Okay. See what he does. What does he do? Is he just going to wait? I don't understand. What the yuck was that Princess? Oh my gosh. That Princess was so bad. Oh my gosh. Oh my, sorry. I'm just like, what was my boy doing? Like, he just sold the whole match because of that. That's crazy. That's cray-cray. Anyways, easy defense there against the barrel. My man kind of selling the clip, let's be honest. Arrows for Princess, Void if he goes for Cannon. We also clipped the Goblins there, which was awesome. I'm going to go Firecracker here just to, you know, threaten if he plays anything to try and save his tower. Yeah, he logs, so we're going to go for Wall Breakers. See, we're running the real bait deck. Okay, my man absolutely selling. But, like, that's what I said. People don't know how to defend spam. I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. This wasn't a satisfying game. We're going to play one more. So we're going to hold this 3 crown, and I'll see you there. All right, last match of the video. Win or lose. And we're against Cannoneer. That's good for us. Weirdly enough, I don't have my Goblins or anything like that in hand, so that is kind of unfortunate. Okay, let's go like this. Split Wall Breakers. I'll just Void on it. It'll distract the Mortar and clean it all up. So that was a negative elixir trade for us, but it's good to know that he has Void. We're gonna just like delayed Firecracker here. Splash onto the berry and the tower. Love that for us. Okay. He's running like the Mortar deck that's super popular. I talk about this deck a lot. It has a really high win rate. Okay, he goes Arrows. That's good for me. So this deck runs Skeleton King, Mortar. Arrows are the only spell. So it's a really popular deck, like I said. It's very popular. Let's go Wall Breakers here to distract for the Mortar. That we failed, apparently. Okay, valid. Yeah. I guess you can go for that Void. I don't know. Not my best defense. I should have been ready for the Mortar. I kind of had a little bit of like brain lag. You know what I'm talking about when you like kind of have your decision, but you're not 100% confident in it. He might go for like a Miner here. I'm not sure. I feel like it might be an overcommitment. Okay, let's go Recruits. His only spell is Arrows, so like all we want to focus on is not giving him Arrows value, and he doesn't have. He has Skeleton Dragons, so without giving him too much Arrows value, we're gonna try and force it out here onto the. Yeah, I was gonna say he's gonna spend those arrows, so that makes sense. to be expected. We have Mighty Miner here as well. Should be pretty easy defense. Let's do this. No arrows in hand, so we can get these goblins down. Okay. Debating. Yeah, I need the arrows here. Good ability by him. That is annoying, isn't it? Good berry by him. I kind of forgot that he had that in cycle, so let's go wall breakers here. My man playing very, very well. Okay, just goes for the Evo Mortar instead and just eats all that damage. Bold strategy, Cotton. Can't say that I would have done that, but I am not the mortar player, so that's fair. That goblin that landed on the tower is going to get a decent amount of damage. Alrighty. Let's do this here. Let's find arrows, otherwise the berry gets too much damage. Yeah, he goes for arrows of his own. Let's do this. He doesn't have bomber in hand, so like... Oh, he has Skeleton King. That's a good splash. Did he have to go mortar? Yeah, I was like, I think he has to go mortar there. Once that locks, let's go gang. Okay. DPS down that mortar. Life is good. Life is good. Pretty even matchup, honestly. From a skill perspective, anyways. It's going to force out my arrows, unfortunately. Well played. My man is playing the matchup well. Got to give credit where credit's due. We'll take the Void here, though, and then we're going to go Firecracker like this. Should force out his arrows. Now that arrows are gone, let's go wall breakers as well. Maybe we can squeak onto the tower. Defensive mortar was really, really smart there. Well played by my opponent. Okay. It feels as though we are at a stalemate. Does that mortar get a shot? If it does, I'm retiring. Okay, let's go like this. He might arrows it. It's pretty decent arrows value. He opts not to. He goes for the berry instead. Let's do this. Force out his arrows. Firecracker threatens the tower. He does go for arrows. Beautiful. We're going to go wall breakers. Goblin Gang, because it also provides aerial support. He's going to go mortar. Yeah, he kind of had to go mortar in that situation. Look at the left side. Look at the left side. Left side popping off. Love that for us. Let's do this. And we're going to go goblins. Unfortunate. Okay. Let's go wall breakers here. Should force out the mortar, I think. Okay. There it is. My opponent playing like a madman. I absolutely respect it. I need to get a little aggressive here on offense because he can kind of like start to spam me. Yeah, exactly. Okay, no arrows in hand. Void. Left side. Look at the left side. That wall breaker might connect. It doesn't. It's unfortunate for your boy. Those are all dead. Let's do this. Oh, kind of gave him arrows value there. No arrows in hand. Let's get this void off. Those wall breakers, wall breakers, wall breakers. Oh, oh. And we stole that match. Let's go. Wow, good game. Honestly, he played it really well. I kind of felt like we weren't really in control a lot of that match, but all it takes is one good push. So W game. Well played to him. We'll hold that, and we'll catch you in the outro. And that's going to do it for today's video. Here's the deck one more time in case you want to take a screenshot. I'll also put the link to this in the YouTube description so you can kind of just copy it or open it inside of Clash. So thank you so much for watching. Give this deck a try. I probably sound like a broken record, but it's so good and it's relatively easy to play. So do it even if you don't have evolutions. I promise you'll have fun and I promise you'll get lots of wins. So thank you again for watching and I hope to see you in another video real soon. Peace.